All right, guys, so this is where we finally start to get into some formulas. Just to remind you guys, I will let you have a formula sheet. There will be certain things you have to know, like class width. I'm not going to let you write that formula on the formula sheet. You know how to do class width. So here's where we're going to learn some of our first formulas. And what goes along with that is learning these Greek symbols and what they mean. So this is a beautiful thing to start with, because we all know how to calculate the average. We've been doing it already for a while. Not just in this class, before this class. We call it the mean, because we're math people, we like four-letter words to start with M. So to be honest, the word average is more general than you realize. So there's more averages than what we consider to be the average. So we call it the mean when we do this. Can somebody tell me in English how to calculate the average?
You add up all the numbers and divide them by however many you have.
Divide by how many? Who to what?
Divide by the total number of grades or whatever you're averaging.
So add them all up and divide by how many there are, right?
That's an American.
That's American. So that's in English, which math people don't like because there's too many freaking letters. So we want to come up with a symbol that generally means add a bunch of shit up. So we decided to use the letter S because that's what sum starts with. Instead of the letter A for add, we said S for sum. And then we thought, let's make it all official looking, sort of like the Super Bowl used to use Roman numerals. Do you remember that? And then the 50th Super Bowl came, and that would have just been a big-ass L. Because L is just a boom. L is like, no. But when it was XXVI, it's like, you haven't been stoned. Bam. It's like, oh, yeah. Anyway. So we use the Greek letter S. Capital Greek letter S, which if you're going to go into any fraternity or sorority, you'll realize it's sigma. Sigma. Exactly. So that by itself doesn't really mean something. It's sort of like if I said, do this problem, the square root. What's wrong with that question? You should be like, the square root of what, Jeff? All right, so this says sum up what? All of them. All of what? All the data. What represents all the data? Because there's a lot of values that the data can take on. The values it can take on varies. So what thing I'm going to use to represent all the data? A variable, which the most basic variable is X. All right, add up all the data values and divide by how many there are, and we say the number of data points, so we use the letter N for how big my sample size is. So math technically really is just learning a different language. And if you have done that already, you're like, dude, I'm done with that shit. No, you're not. Math is a different language. Math is my second language. Right. Sum of X divided by N is another way to say all this. Now, the symbol for the mean, it depends. A population, I want to be a little bit like population. It's like Super Bowl. So I want to use Greek letter for a population. So the symbol for a population mean is, you ready for it? Mu. It's a U with an extra leg in front. You're going to make a little M. I'm going to try to be okay with it. But that's not a letter M. That's the French cow letter. Deal with it. It's bad. I know. I don't care. So Greek letters, for right now, kind of represent population ideas. So what's a sample mean look like then? Well, of course, it's going to be X bar. Why not? Yes, sir. A little bar on top of something normally means an average of that thing, of a sample. So if I had two different samples, like ages and weights, these could be X's, these could be Y's, the average weight would be Y bar. Why bar? Why not bar? All right, so mu is population, x bar is sample. Notice how the formulas are the same.
You spell mu.
Mu. I love it. Underneath it, if you want to, you could put mu. Right, it's a little cat, whatever the shit you want to do. All right, so the average we know, but this is beautiful because now you're seeing how what the symbols look like. We're going to see the symbol a lot. So I want to right now focus on it. If I had data like this, can you tell me what this is? What is it?
It is 29.
29, I like it. So when you add them all up, you get 29. So, let me ask you this. You ready? I'm going to ask you two other questions. Here we go. This is question 1, we answered it. Here's question 2. And question 3, I'll put them both down. I want this and this. They are not the same. Why could I do this so freaking easy? Because what if we cover the sum symbol? Stay with me. Cover the summation symbol. Do I have those? Do I have x's? Yeah. So can I add them up? Yeah. So over here, for this one, cover the sum symbol. Do I have those? No. Okay. Well, let me take a second and make those. This was easy because I had them. This is not easy yet because I don't got the stuff I'm trying to add up. So what's x squared? So then what's the sum of x squares?
129.
Yeah, whatever that shit adds. 229? Okay? 118, 239, is it? 5, 69, 115, 239. I think it's 239. No, I'm all right with it. It's too early for me. And so how do I do the third one?
29 squared.
I just do edit. What is the sum of x?
29.
29. And then I got to square it, right? Oh, do you know what that really is? That's please excuse my dumbass son. Or dear Aunt Sally. Or like one algebra class told me, I want you to understand, this is what they told me. Please excuse my deficient algebra skills. That's what they proposed. That wasn't me. And I was like, yes, this is true. So whatever the hell 29 squared is, 900 minus 900 minus 58, so 843. 841, did I go the wrong way around? Real quick, 29 squared is 30 minus 1 times 30 minus 1. Right? 900 minus a couple 30s. Yeah, that's what I did wrong. Plus 1. So FOIL method, holy shit, it actually has application. No way. No way. That's not true. I love it. You're always disagreeing with me. You're like, no, don't. I got this thing. Ah, shit. Okay. How about one last one of these? How would you do this?
Easy.
Now, that should be easy, right? What do you kind of... I want you to realize we're going to have a ton of formulas that have this symbol in it. How do you tell what to make? You cover the sum symbol and you say, do I have those? Yeah. I can. Really easy, right? I don't really yet. So right here, let me put x plus 2. So 3, 5, 9, 10, 13. Right? And of course, it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 more than it would have been. Right? So it should come out to be 39. Check. Are you guys seeing how that summation symbol works? It wants to sum up the stuff that comes after it. If you don't have the things that come after it, how the hell are you going to add them up? Do I replace x with something? Why does that not make any sense? Because what is x? All these things. So how can you just put something in here? X is not equal to 7. X is equal to all these things.
That's actually 40.
Second?
That's 40, not 30.
40? Oh, well. 17. Did I do it backwards? What happened? Did I add right? Oh, I added 3 right there. Now it is 30. All right. So good morning for Jeff. I'm not good with numbers. Okay. So I want to focus on it because it's going to happen a lot to us, the summation symbol. All right, continuing. There are more. This is plural. So there's more measures of center. Here's why the next measure of center sort of exists. I don't know if you can pay attention to when anybody reports about home prices in San Diego. There's a certain word that also starts with an M, but it's not the average or the mean. It's not in. There's a certain word they use when they talk about the center of home prices. Median. And what's the median in the road? It's the thing that's in the middle, right? And why is that? Well, if I had homes that cost 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, 6.3 million, if I average those, the average is going to be way higher, right? So here's let me give you a different situation. Let's talk about incomes. Let's say I'm going to start working at a company, and they ask people that work there, what can I expect to be making? Like 5 years in or something. And they're like, well, I make $42,000 a year. Brad over here makes $47,000. This other guy makes $51,000. The CEO makes $450,000. So let's average those up. Give you an idea about what you can expect to make. Would that be representative? No. So what do I call this dude? Yeah, good, right? Anybody ever seen Children of the Corn?
Yeah.
Outlander. So, I'm sorry. Every time I hear outlier, I think, Outlander, we have your woman. Sorry. If you don't like horror movies, don't watch it. If you do, you've never seen it, watch frickin' Children of the Corn, the first one, not the sequels.
Does that have Malachi in it?
Huh?
Does that have some kid named Malachi in it?
Yes, Malachi. Exactly. And the dude that's got this giant mouth is crazy. Sorry. So anytime your data has outliers, the average will be affected, but the median won't be. Can somebody help me? There's only 4 numbers here, so this might sound like a weird question, but we know how to deal with this. What's the middle number?
40.
What's another way to reference? We've calculated the middle number earlier. What do we call it, though, then? Q2. P50. Right? What's half of 4?
2.
So you get a whole number. So you better take the second and the third. So what's the middle of 4 numbers? Well, it's the middle of the middle. It's the middle of the 2 in the middle. Right? So, yeah. So what's the middle number? 49. So if I told him you can expect to make 49,000, that's honest. Now, mathematically, it's not dishonest to give him an average, but we know that's dishonest because it's including this crazy outlier. He's not going to step in and become CEO, no matter how much he wishes, right? All right, everybody. That's why incomes and home prices, they always talk about the median value. So it's not affected by outliers. So, median. Median has a symbol. It looks like a mean to have a rough night. Right? It's got a little tilde on top. This little bar got messed up. Okay. And then how do you find it? Well, it's basically just finding P50. Really. So, like, for example, what's the median of this set of numbers? I'm going to be mean. It is 4, right? Now, this isn't in order, but still, these two would just switch. So it is 4, right? If you put these in order, it's still 4. So if there's an odd number of numbers, then the middle one, it's easy to find. And how does that jive with how we find P50? What's half of 5? 2.5, rounded up to the third. Now, hey, there you go. It's the middle number. So hopefully you believe a little more in the way we do percentiles, because it's jiving with what the hell should happen here. Maybe. Okay. Then we've got, now, what kind of data, this is going to be out of nowhere, what kind of data do these two not apply to? That's really weird, but go back. What's the main two types of data?
Qualitative.
And this is all quantitative. Can I average hair color? Not really. All right, I think they said the average color of the universe is beige because they assign numbers to, and that's bullshit. Right? Thankfully, beige. But I can't use these ideas on qualitative data. Bless you. This one, though, can't you say what type of car occurs the most in the parking lot? And you could say, yeah, it's Ford is the most, or whatever. You with me? So this next thing is the most. It's called the mode. The thing that occurs the most. So it works for qualitative and quantitative. So you can say brunette is the most common hair color, right, and so forth. So that's the modal hair color. Thing that occurs the most. Obviously, it also works with numbers. So, for example, what's the mode here? This is going to be difficult. 2. Yay. There's no symbol for the mode. I always wanted to make like a ice cream symbol or something like pi a la mode, but there's no symbol for the mode. It's just a word. What's the mode here, though? Yeah, it's bimodal.
Two different ice creams.
Totally. Right? And then you can have trimodal, and after that it's like, screw it. There's no mode. So why is this called a measure of center? Because it's kind of an idea of where the data is clustering. That would be sort of a center, and everything else is sort of an outlier then in that way of thinking. You guys all right? A lot of you guys are looking down. I'm sorry. I'm oppressive, I know. Okay. What's the mode here? Yeah, there's a winner, right? Don't say bimodal. There's a clear winner. 7-1. He's got the most. Do you always have to have a mode? No. Is there a mode here? This is 5 and 7, by the way. I think I got a little messed up. There's no mode. There's no mode. Doesn't have to be a mode. I like it. I like it. Is this difficult? No.
Does it have to be a mode?
Say again? Doesn't have to be. No. Yeah. There's nothing that repeats. There's no mode. And then finally, the last real measure of center is called the mid-range. Call the mid-range. Not call the midwife, but call the mid-range. And what do you think about that? What does it sound like? Mid-range, the middle of the range. So the way to do the mid-range is you take the high and the low and you average them. That actually becomes an evil formula. Because how do you find the range? High minus low. How do you average the high and the low? Add them and divide by 2. Everybody freaking subtracts because your brain goes, oh, subtract. But you're averaging the high and the low. So the mid-range here will be 16 plus 1 divided by 2, which is coolness.
You don't really know.
No,
You ever get a whole number through this?
totally. If I would have made that 15, then it would have been divisible by 2. So notice how the mid-range will always be a whole number or a 0.5, because it's divided by 2.
Do we always divide it by 2?
Always, because there's only 2 numbers. Mid-range only cares about high and low. I'm taking an average, so there's only 2 numbers. You divide by 2 always. I like it. What's the range again?
High minus low.
Period. Right? Not divided by 2 all of a sudden. Right? For some reason, you got people that do that all the time. Okay. All right. What was the... on the back of that sheet I gave out earlier, that... Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right, let's do this. I'm trying to think about... Yeah, let's do this. So on the back of that sheet we did earlier, the one that's got percentiles and box plots on the front, group up with like 3 other people. If you're smart, you'll see why. There's 4 sets of data. Each person can get 1 set of data to work with if you're smart. So group up with like 3 other people, or by yourself and do 4 times as much work. It's up to you. I want you to work on the back of the sheet together. Yes? Okay.